Legend Total here, and today we've got a Rating Your Doomstack video covering a Soul Grinder of Tzeentch Doomstack, this time within the Legion of Chaos. So that giving us the ability to heal them, but I think this could work just as equally well in the Tzeentchian faction, but maybe it is actually stronger in Legion of Chaos. Anyway, we're going up against possibly the strongest of the Cathayan forces that have been sent into us so far, because there are just so many Terracotta Sentinels, and every single time that someone puts up their Doomstack against Cathay, like I've gone up against maybe 4 or 5 of the Terracotta Sentinels, and they're always the biggest concern. So if this army here can truly take this on, I think this is a significant test for them. So we do have the ability to seduce a unit, but I'm not going to do it. Wouldn't be able to get much anyway with that amount of budget. We've got 2 heroes in here. I'm not entirely sure what these are for. Probably just for extra magic, I suppose. I'm not going to make use of unlimited winds of magic, so take that as you will. And then, of course, we've got a healer. As for him, we know we've got to keep the Demon Prince kind of safe. If we have a look at his resistances, it's not very much, so he would probably go down pretty quickly even with that barrier. So yeah, we're going to rely very heavily on the Soul Grinders, and we'll heal them if needed. Alright, jump in and see how we go. So top priority needs to be to shoot the Terracotta Sentinels, because they're the only units that have magical attacks. I suppose the Sky Junk there are more of a detriment to their forces than to ours, because we're not really going to be too heavily affected by it. They usually end up doing some damage to me, but if I'm in melee, they'll end up doing way more damage to their own troops. Yeah, the Fire Rain Rocket's not really an issue. But yeah, top priority will shoot the Terracotta Sentinels. So the only spell that I want to use here is the heal spell, because we're here to see just how well these guys do. Now, funny thing is, with the differences in the various Soul Grinders, like we've seen the Nurgle one, that was really good at taking out infantry, and then they just go into melee. They can probably handle the Terracotta Sentinels in melee, right? But these guys here, they're best at shooting at single entities, the Tzeentchian ones. So, arguably, this one here might be better at dealing with Cathay than the Soul Grinders of Nurgle, just because, although Cathay has a lot of infantry being sent at you, it's always the Terracotta Sentinels that are the biggest concern. Alright, so I'm just going to keep all these guys back for the time being. I'll bring in the healers if I absolutely need them. Alright, I'm not going to wait for them to get set up. Gonna go over there, try to snipe the Terracotta Sentinels. Also, the range on the Soul Grinder of Tzeentch is significantly lower than the Nurgle one, and the Khorne one is even lower than that. So, and this Slaanesh one doesn't even have a ranged attack, which arguably makes it the weakest one out of the 4. Arguably, all of the Soul Grinders don't have much ammo. This hill here is kind of in the way. But the barrier that these guys have here are definitely going to help. Provide a bit of damage mitigation. I tell you what, it's doing damage faster than those fucking plague drones were. God damn, they sucked. So yeah, as we take damage, just pull them out. So I had to bring these guys up fairly close because the terrain here was not... But, you know, they can't shoot from there, because these guys are essentially guns in terms of their line of sight. They can't arc their shots that well. Alright, 2 Terracotta Sentinels down pretty quickly. Again, not really going to worry about the Fire Rain Rockets. Not even really worrying about getting shot by them. If my units get damaged, just pull them back. I wonder if they're using Missile Mirror. Yeah, they are using it. I just pulled that guy out anyway. We don't have to worry too much about, you know, one-shot killing ourselves because our missile damage isn't all that high. Which is, well, our missile strength is also anti-large. Bonus versus large plus 40, that's pretty good. Now, we could use our missile attack to take out the Sky Junk, but what for? When they run out of ammunition, they lose all their bounce power anyway. Also, the shots of the... get out of the forest there. The shots of the Soul Grinders are homing. Oh my god, look how many there are. Yeah, that's a lot of Terracotta Sentinels. It's also why I turn them off fire at will, to make sure that every shot is aiming at a Terracotta Sentinel. I think as far as an missile unit is concerned, 10 ammo is pretty low. I can't express how much I hate that when they run out of ammo, they just charge into melee. Gotta change that. It's the only Total War game where this happens. Even if they're on guard mode. If I want you to go into melee, it's a very easy click. Just stay put, you shit. Okay, maybe try not to shoot the ones that are in the trees. Bounce power's not in our favor. But we're still in really good shape. But that being said, they're not really sitting their best at us just yet. I think what's going on here is that they're just trying to organize and then they're going to advance on us. And they probably think that they have missile superiority right now, which they kind of do. It's just that their missile superiority isn't really worth much. But man, we took out a lot of Terracotta Sentinels here. And it's not like these are useless in melee either. But even with every single shot aimed at Terracotta Sentinels, there's still going to be Terracotta Sentinels left over. So yeah, I can put them on guard mode, it won't change anything. This one here's got most of its ammo still. Okay. Shooting. Alright, so if we have a look here. Killed 1, 2, 3, damaged a bunch of them, unless there's more dead Terracotta Sentinels. Yeah, the problem here is there's low ammunition, and Terracotta Sentinels just have a lot of health. They're going to start advancing on us soon. Don't think there's anything you can do to increase their ammunition, and if there is, you wouldn't be able to increase it by much. Be interesting if Tzeentch ends up with getting a hero kind of like the Warlock Engineer for the Skaven, where, oh, we got Mr. Mirror there. That's just going to waste ammo. Where we can get extra range, missile damage, extra ammunition, that kind of stuff. That could be really useful. Just gotta wait to expire. They've stopped shooting at the single entities now for some reason. Guess I recognize they just weren't doing anything. Alright, just got one guy left with ammo. And they're just sitting there staring at us. Okay. It's up to them. Kind of, feeling as though they're not going to be able to take on all of this in melee. It's just a lot. But, we'll see. You know, even with focus firing entirely on... Did that hit this one's halberd? Fuck me, man. Dead one's acting like a shield. It's kind of weird that these halberds would have such a big hitbox. Oh, they've missile mirrored me again. Stay put. Alright, now they want to shoot. Okay, get him back. Oof, that one took a bit of damage. Okay, now we're starting to take a bit of damage from all that stuff. We've still got a tiny little bit of ammo left, but I'm just not going to worry about it. Alright, let's go over here and attack them on that flank. I kind of feel like we're going to need to make use of these other guys here. So that's how they're getting their unlimited winds of magic. With the chromatic tome. He doesn't actually have death magic here. So even if the unlimited winds of magic bug didn't exist, you would still have access to unlimited winds. And yeah, a Tzeentch caster is best at it, because if you click this and it miscasts, you just go through the barrier, which regenerates. Alright, let's see how they go in melee. Keeping these two out until the barrier recharges. You come over here a little bit. And let's see how they fight against, what's this, Dragon Guard? Yeah, I think so. So if the fire rain rocket's shooting to us now, they're going to kill a lot of their own units. Oh man, they slowed me down a lot there. Yeah, I think it's got the upgrade for the extra barrier, because I think their standard barrier is 800. That's thanks to the Demon Prince, who of course we're going to keep out of this. But yeah, they're not taking much damage, and they are also not dishing out a terrible amount of damage either. That one there's very badly hurt, killing up. Decent amount of mass pulling through his infantry. Okay, you need to be focusing on the Terracotta Sentinel, or else it's going to absolutely wreck you. Okay, might be time for a bit of a heal. Get everyone together, so none of it goes to waste. Got some really good items on these heroes here. Starting to wonder if I'm going to be able to do this with just the Soul Grinders. I might have to bring in some magic. This is just so much infantry in here. I think they're going to get worn out. Maybe I'll bring them over here, and I'll just think about casting a spell. Okay, I didn't quite get everyone in that heal. But that one doesn't cost me some magic, so no big deal. We'll pop down a Fleshy Abundance as well. I think everyone's in there this time. Okay, I want you to land, because I don't know if I should, but I kind of want the Sky Junk to hit their own troops a little bit. But they seem to be doing just fine. Just don't want this one here shooting at my plague ridden here. Okay, we're starting to get a bit too separated. Close in on each other. This one here is having the hardest time because it's fighting a Terracotta Sentinel. And still quite a few Terracotta Sentinels. God damn, they're everywhere. Of course, got the army summons. Come on, everyone in there. Where are you? Yeah, Terracotta Sentinels are just really strong in melee. Really, really tough. And they're so difficult for demons to deal with. Even with 56 melee attack, which actually isn't that high. Because I think the Terracotta Sentinels have like a base of like 70 melee attack or some shit. It's very high for a single entity. We have a look at it. Yeah. Debuff them a bit with that spell. No, you stay over there. Okay, I feel like they've kind of got this situation under control to some degree. You know, that's sending everything they've got at us all at once. Bounce power is maintaining. We haven't lost any of them yet. We're still in pretty good health. Is this one even taking damage? Yeah, it's going down. Yeah, for some reason they're backing off. It's probably because reinforcements are coming in, and they want to get organized with them. But this is a good opportunity to take out the Terracotta Sentinels while they're not really trying to get us. Of course, our guys just sniff their ass, don't properly attack. Yep, just, alright, don't worry about that one then. Now, it's important with barrier units, especially the single entities, to try to keep them at as close to full health as possible. That way they can make as much use out of the barrier as possible, because it's relative to their max health. Because barriers are a very powerful mechanic, even if it did just take a massive nerf. Being able to regenerate any amount of hit points endlessly is really useful. I haven't needed any other spell casts, just the heal spells so far. Yeah, they're all essentially at full strength. That one's a little bit damaged. Okay, let's move back a little bit. Alright, still more Terracotta Sentinels. Bounce power's a bit better. I guess that's another thing to consider. There's so many Sky Junk in there that just can't really do much in this battle. That it's kind of wasted bounce of power. So really, we're more like here, I think. But yeah, this is probably the strongest of all the Cathayan forces that we've gone up against so far. Still pretty funny that everyone just pits their doom stacks up against, or all their demon doom stacks up against Cathay. I think it's a good choice. Those cannons can be a bit of a problem, though. Not the fire rain rockets, the other ones. The rain cannons. If you ever look at them, they've so far done... Okay, they haven't done much. We're kind of blocked by the trees here, so we're okay. I guess that's a reason for fighting in the trees, right? If we fight within the trees, it acts as shield block. While we do lose 20% of our melee attack, way more important that we get rid of their missile attack if possible. Just ignore him. He's not important. Leave him alone. Alright. I can see there's a whole bunch of missile infantry just standing there. I really want to do this. Okay, I'm not going to activate unlimited winds of magic. But, you know, You put the Tzeentch caster in the army. I'm not going to use any exploits, but here you go. They're just begging for it. Not even using this. Although I should. Yeah. You get a situation where they're all blobbed up like that. I've only got so much self-control, which is not very much, but you know, that's what that spell is designed for. Okay, I think it's time for another heal.
Taliban, lurking, spreading, rotting, and child moving, going.
It definitely feels as though, in terms of if you're using it like a Tzeentch faction, right? That the Soul Grinders are better than the Lords of Change, at least at the moment. Because the Lords of Change, they're really derpy, right? And they're not really great fighters, and they're spellcasters, right? And they're not good spellcasters. You only need one spellcaster in the army, really. No, I've already used up all my reserve anyway. Okay, this one over here has reached its max heal, so it's time to get it out of there. It's fighting a Terracotta Sentinel. So once again, just to reiterate, yes, I'm fighting in the forest. I know I'm losing 20% melee attack. So are all their large units, but also all of their missile units here can't hit us very well. It's acting like a shield for us. Don't be afraid to put your large units in forest when the enemy have missile superiority. You know, I hear all the time people like, "Ah, don't put your units in the forest. You're gonna lose 20% melee attack." It's like, yeah, it's okay. 20% melee attack loss is worth 45% missile block rate or whatever it provides. Especially when you're really vulnerable to missiles. And the Terracotta Sentinels are affected by it just as much. Put that guy over there, he's done for the battle. Bounce power's looking okay, it's even now. And they just keep wasting their ammunition on bad targets. Not even really trying to dodge.
Taliban, obey. Drone, love, and distraction. Great box.
You've got to focus on them. Yeah, just leave him alone, okay? He's no threat to you. Oh, fuck it. Just go kill him. This one here's in a bit of danger. But yeah, this is as close to a terracotta spam as I've ever seen the AI produce. No, I got summons there, I'm just not going to make use of them. And you gotta focus on that damn Terracotta Sentinel. I think it's time for another heal. And maybe a Miasma of Pestilence to soften their fighters in there a little bit more. Definitely want to overcast it because it provides an area of effect as opposed to just on one unit. Okay, this one here, it's out of heals. Time to get it out. Could start generating some more magic using using these abilities here, but I'm not going to. I don't think we need to. And it looks like the Soul Grinders are doing their job. Or at least they're not shooting into their own troops. So you've got to give them credit for that. Okay, still another Terracotta Sentinel here. I'm going to count up exactly how many there were at the end of this. Yeah, I tried to keep that guy out of it, but they just won't leave. Leave him alone. Okay, that's useful.
Ascended champion of chaos.
Some of them are on guard mode. I should probably take them off that. Well, I think this is the last Terracotta Sentinel. But yeah, they're doing pretty well in melee. They've been fighting for a while. They're all exhausted. Getting shot. Fighting anti-large units. They managed. Okay, now with all of their melee units kind of defeated, Cathay's missile units are right for the taking now. Now normally I would, if I had like a single entity Doomstack, I'd be targeting their missile units first, but I didn't really need to in this. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit here and admit that I fought this efficiently. I really didn't. And that's really the strength of a good Doomstack, if you can fight inefficiently and still get good results. They don't have any more reinforcements coming now. Alright, let's bring these guys up and start fighting the sky junk. Which I could have done earlier, but meh. I didn't want them to lose too much balance of power and get the army losses too early without these guys having a real challenge. Are you just going to escort it off the battlefield, are you?
Demon Prince moving. Eliminate them.
It's always been a problem in Total War Warhammer with single entities running down other single entities and just like staring at them.
Supreme Demon.
If we have a look at this last Terracotta Sentinel, how much damage did it end up doing? Yeah, they were always going to be a huge threat. It's quite a lot. Okay, we're spread out now a little bit more, rather than one big blob, because the missile units, we've got to pin them down so they stop shooting at us. Make sure there's no one idle, unless they've been specifically left out. Oh, that guy shouldn't be in here. Yeah, pull him out. That one's close to being pulled out as well.
I will conquer.
Alright, the bounce power is now rapidly getting away from the AI, so I imagine the army losses is coming any moment now. And it looks like we got rid of the last of the Terracotta Sentinels. Can use this if I want, but I don't. Doesn't really matter. What are they aiming? Oh, right, they're aiming for the heroes. this guy here is taking too much damage. Let's get him out. Where did we get that extra wins from? I only had 20 reserves at one point. I didn't use that. That doesn't work if you're not getting any, That doesn't matter. Okay, no, still no army losses. This is interesting. Would have thought it would come in by now. So they're a bit slow at killing huge amounts of infantry, but that's usually the case. That's where you would have the spellcasters just to sort them out. They need to be good at handling the single entities, which they were. There we go, there's the army losses. Well, that was also a really good Doom stack. So yeah, we'll count up exactly how many Terracotta Sentinels there were. I think that's the most that we've gone up against so far. You know, just comparing it to the Plague Drone one, which is a bit unfair. Plague Drones or whatever. I think there was 4 or 5 Terracotta Sentinels in that, and that were definitely the biggest concern. Also, the battle only took half an hour. Considering there were 4 armies, I think it's okay. Alright, so let's have a look here. So there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 Terracotta Sentinels. Yeah. Well, he definitely put in a huge amount of work into that. Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. I just want to have a look at the build of the Demon Prince to see if he's actually boosting, or what boost he is providing to the where is it? To the Soul Grinders. So if you have a look here, all right. So we've got extra barrier for Tzeentch Soul Grinder units, right? That's not coming in any handy. Extra. Okay, so it's just that one there, and then this one here is providing nothing. Right, so all he's providing is extra barrier, which isn't bad, but what about this? What's this doing? And extra barrier there, so that looks like a total of 45%, but no actual stat increases. No, see, they're still their base ammunition. They've got a bit higher missile strength, but that might just be due to their experience ranks, or maybe there's a technology that's doing that. Right, so yeah, he doesn't even boost them all that much. Just looking at a Lord of Change, would a Lord of Change have been a better choice if you have a look at their skills? So, looking at this, where are they? Just gotta find where it is. Okay, Soul Grinders here. So, you get weapon strength bonus versus infantry. There. And then you get armor and melee attack. Yeah, that's not tons. It's not tons. Probably barrier would have been more useful, so it's comparable, I suppose. But yeah. Yeah, I reckon you could make that army work. Where was he again? Yeah, over here. I reckon you could make that army work in Tzeentch as well. You just won't have the healer. You could heal them if you're using Kairos Fate Weaver, due to Life Bloom, or you know, if you equip the Life Shard. Right, yeah. So in terms of rating it, it's pretty damn good. I mean, that took on possibly the strongest of the Cathayan forces that a Doomstack has had to go up to. I'm feeling like too many of these demon armies are getting 10 out of 10. but what am I supposed to do? You can't go up against a stronger enemy than that, really. And the thing is, this is such a strong army that I feel like it's still usable against demons. Because they do have magic attack, they do have a missile attack. And you got magic to support there. So really, any faction you go up against is going to be pretty good. The cost is not too bad at all. Watch your supply lines. Yeah, ridiculous amounts. And his equipment here is reducing the upkeep cost of Tzeentch units by 60%. Because he's gone with the, obviously with the Tzeentch dedication. It's another 10 out of 10. Man, the Legion of Chaos have so many 10 out of 10 Doom stacks. But the problem here, though, is that you can only really go with one of them because you have to dedicate towards that specific god. You know, if you want to get the Nurgle one, you have to dedicate to Nurgle. If you want to go for the Khorne one, you got to dedicate to Khorne. So, seems like no matter which way you go, we haven't checked out a Slaanesh. Oh wait, did we? We did the. I don't think we've done a Keeper of Secrets Doom stack. Or a... No, we did do a Soul Grinder one. We did with Slaanesh, and it was really good as well. So you could really just go any way that you want with the Demons of Chaos. Dedicate any which way, and you'll end up... Because if you dedicate to Undivided, instead of getting reduced upkeep costs, you'll get extra physical resistance, which against the human factions is really useful, especially against Cathay. Not so good against the Terracotta Sentinels, but everything else does physical damage. But that wouldn't be very good if you're going up against demons, because they'll just bypass it. Yeah, but anyway, I feel like I gotta give it a 10 out of 10, but I'm kind of wary. I'm just constantly giving out 10 out of 10s, but if you go up against such a huge amount of force, and I don't really even try that hard. I mean, I had access to unlimited Winds of Magic. I didn't even really use it. I had plenty of opportunities to use Spellcast. I just did one just because they blobbed up so much, and it was only like 3 units. You know, it's not like I took out 4 armies with them. These guys here could have very easily done it without the magic, apart from the healing. The healing seemed essential. If we didn't do the healing, these guys would have ended up way more damaged, maybe even having not won. I would have had to have been more efficient with my fighting. But yeah, I think it's a 10 out of 10. Anyway, that's the end of this one. I appreciate the guy sending this in. He put in a lot of effort into this with all the different items, making sure they're designed properly. Appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. And I'll see you next time, fuckers. Bye.